what it do, what the business is.
It is another week in the books with the On Deck TV podcast show. I am Spike Lou.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, Animal_Brown if you're looking for me on Twitter and Instagram.
Absolutely. I am Spike Lou on the same social sites. Holla at your boy out here in these social streets. We're in the middle of a heat wave, man. Hottest it's ever been in Europe. Did you see that?
I did. That shit nuts. It feel like a heat wave in Atlanta. It was not bullshitting over the weekend.
Absolutely. I didn't know only 1% of Europeans had air conditioning. That's fucking nuts.
What?
Yes. It usually don't get that hot over there. They said less than about 1% of the country has central AC. I found that fucking fascinating. And the perfect thing to share with the On Deck TV show listeners. How y'all doing out there, man? It's the CMG Gangster Art review. We had to show our man Yo Gotti some love. Everybody may not be talking about this project, so we want to do it the justice it deserves, being a Southern hip hop podcast. Also on the docket today, Benny the Butcher says, man, what we need to do is get these rappers in these cities and go ask about them, and you might be disappointed at what you hear. We'll talk about that. Method Man talks about how rappers shouldn't sign to other rappers. And the DA in Georgia talks about 2 more high-profile indictments possibly coming down for rap crews like YSL. We'll get into all of that, but first, Animal Brown, unless you've been under a rock and missed this, your man, Rick Ross, has been under verbal assault from Gillie from Philly. My question to you, break down what's going on for the On Deck TV show listeners, and are you here for the funny or these guys need to act their age?
Yeah, it's a very interesting. Gillie has been on a rampage lately against Rose. Some people may be wondering where in the hell did this come from. It stems back a couple of weeks. Gillie had made some comments. He had told a story about when he ran into Lil Wayne.
Yep.
The last time he saw him. And of course, they have some history. They had a little falling out. And he talked about how Wayne was kind of acting real strange, kind of slick ducking, running on the low from him. And then Mac Main saw the clip, who we know is over at Young Money, and was like, come on, bro. And actually had video of said incident. And it did not exactly look the same way that Gillie had described it. And so Rick Ross hopped in the comments and had some things to say about that. And now it's kind of all circling back around. Now Gillie's been going at Rick Ross for having cows and all kind of other shit. And he's clowning him. And he seems very serious. Gillie seems to be dead serious about this. Is it funny, though? Absolutely. It's very funny. I'm very interested to see how Ross reacts or doesn't react, because Ross is supposedly working on a podcast. Shout out to Rose.
Shocker.
Yeah, exactly. Add another one to the stratosphere.
You better talk to T.I. first.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's all good. Look, but I'm really interested to see how Ross handles it, because so far he hasn't really said anything. He hasn't really touched on it. He's been showing more of the usual on his social media, which is just get money shit. And he's still on his motivating the bosses and X, Y, and Z. So he hasn't really jumped down in the mud with Gillie, and I'm not really mad at that response, although the Gillie clip was funny.
Gillie clip was definitely funny. A long line of funny clips that he and Wallow trade online all the time. We've seen the R. Kelly going back and forth where Wallow act like Gillie and R. Kelly was close. So there's a precedent out there for what's going on with Gillie as far as joking. Are him and Ross cool enough for Ross to know that he can't play with him like that? Obviously not, because what Ross did, like you said, he hopped in there and he called him a fraud. Now, in a lot of scenarios, especially where Gillie and Ross claim like they from, you can't play like that. Right. Like, we can go back and forth and you can joke, but you're not finna call me a fraud, bro. However, I don't think that Gillie's responds like it doesn't prove his point that he's trying to prove, like that I'm serious and you better take me serious. Because like you said, it's funny.
It was.
Nigga, you 45, 50 responding to Ross like this because he was in your comments on IG. Like, a real, very simple response would have been like, Ross, hit me up. If we're going to make this public and we're going to do all of this, just hit me up. Or don't call me a fraud, and if you got something else to say, we can talk about it offline. That's just how I would have handled it. I'm not saying that that's necessarily right, but it does make Gillie look funny and make you wonder, like we're always talking about, is everything a rollout? Gillie and Ross get on the phone. Well, how do I promote my new podcast if I'm Rick Ross? What's going to make everybody tap into this first episode? A beef with the current podcaster who's at the top of this lane that he's trying to get in. Yep. So who knows what it could be? Because like you said, Ross hasn't responded, maybe saving that response for his podcast.
He probably should.
Yeah, and that would be dope. I ain't cool marketing plan. I can't lie. But I mean, y'all look like old corny niggas. The reason that is funny because y'all niggas is like 40 plus and y'all going back and forth trading jabs online. Like Ross did start it, so I always talk about
that's
man, you can't measure nobody's response. We always talk about that on here. Like you push a motherfucker or whatever it be, I can't be mad as you shoot me because I shouldn't have never put my hands on you. Yes, it's not the appropriate response that a normal person would do, maybe, but I can't dictate what you would do. So
to be fair, Gillie was the one with the cap on the Lil Wayne story though, because the video did not go as he described it.
That's true.
So
that's been overlooked. That's the big thing. And you hit the nail on the head. Gillie's more so embarrassed about that. So let's divert all the attention away from what I allegedly happened because it's been this thing for years too. Like that he's trying to push this line that I was a bully around Cash Money and like niggas was like, stop, bro. Like nobody was like, come on, bro. And he might be slick. How do you think about as far as the people saying that there's a Meek Mill perspective to this as well?
It is because he's taking up for his mans because he threw in there how the Meek contract, he claimed it was a slave deal. And we know Meek is from Philly, Gillie's from Philly.
Yep.
That's probably his mans. He repping for the home team. I just thought it was interesting that in the same rant that he told Ross to mind his business, he went into the next nigga's record deal. I was like,
another nigga business.
I was like, okay, now you trolling it. Like now it kind of came off as like some Soulja Boy shit. Like I was like, oh, you're doing this for the entertainment piece. Okay, that's fine. And that went over a lot of people's heads, or some people just didn't care, one or the other. But with the jokes, we're all losing sight in the fact that he was capping about the original
first story.
And that's what you do. You do throw jokes to deflect, and it's working.
Yeah, it's definitely working. So, question before we get out of here and on to the next one. Do you think it's ever considered someone like Gillie being like, the appropriate way to handle this as a mature adult would be to call him? I'm sure he can get Rick Ross' number. But then if someone says, well, if you handle it this way, you're sure to get impressions and you're sure to, like, let's say Barstool hit him up and was like, hey, we could sell this and get a lot of views from it. And there's some incentive in it for you as far as views and making money off the contract. Do you think if they approached Gillie with something like that, he would listen to it and be like, okay, yeah, let's run it? Or you think he would think that's fake? Or
he would say, let's run it. He knows how this works. Him and Wallow play the social media game pretty well.
They do.
Wallow just does it in another form. He does the motivational. He kind of touches on people's heartstrings and all of that type of stuff. But he knows how to work it too.
Facts.
So they both know how to work it. So they understand that publicity, all pub is good pub for the most part. Oh yeah, he would be with that. That's probably what he's doing. Like
that's probably how it happened, man. You get
and Ross again. You just said it. Ross working on a podcast. You think he's not going to address this on the first episode? You think that clip ain't finna be plastered everywhere?
Tune in this week but the reason why I say you need to holler at T.I., I feel like a Rick Ross podcast would be entertaining.
Yeah.
But is Rick Ross going to get enough from it where he's going to stick to it? Like T.I. said, it seems more like if I'm Rick Ross and I can pop out and get 60,000 for a show, why would I sit down and do 3 podcasts a week?
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
That's why I said you need to talk to T.I.
Unless the phone ain't ringing like it used to.
Unless the phone stop ringing. Yeah, that's different.
But then again, you ain't gotta leave the house either. You have somebody come set it up in one of them 45 rooms in your mansion.
But see, the thing too, he in a different lane from T. Like I would run with that. Like podcasting is good for that motivational business talk. It ain't no black people in that lane. There's like really like what Rick Ross would bring to it. If he tap into like that Grant Cardone, but I'm black and I got a hip hop perspective on it, but I'm still doing the business motivational Marcus Lemotas type shit. Oh man, he could body that.
Yeah. Could he do the Prophet?
Yeah. Rick Ross could do that.
That'd be hard.
That would be some fucking fire too. That would be some fucking fire. Rick Ross coming in and fixing the business. Would it have to be hip hop related business or just any like little black business? Yeah, that'd be fire.
Yeah, black owned businesses.
That'd be fire. I'm here for
or
that.
Rappers. Washed up. I don't
Rappers
know.
coming to do it. That'd be all right right
Man, moving on, man. Your man Benny the Butcher took to Instagram Live. Man, hey, listen, he clearly was talking about somebody, threw some subliminals out there, man. He said, man, we need to go to these rapper cities and ask the cities about them, dog. And y'all might be let down from the shit that y'all hear. Obviously, he done heard something about somebody. He wasn't
there.
specific.
You talking about Freddie Gibbs, man. Stop it. You know who
Possibly.
he talking about.
You never know. My question is, does he have a point? Is this a legitimate point, or is this narrative played out?
This played out, man. Like this has been niggas is getting indicted, B. If you ain't been outside, Benny, if you do not know,
For being
I
real.
don't want, yeah, like for real, I don't want niggas coming around asking about me. Like, absolutely, yeah, that nigga is a moral citizen. So, like, what Benny don't understand, like, bro, you 38 and from Buffalo, it's different for you. I get his point, but I don't think that that's where we are in hip hop right now, especially with the topic that we're going to tap into a little later. The heat's getting cut up. I don't like niggas ain't trying to be famous in the streets no more, bro. Like we seen, this is kind of different, but we seen Drake do a whole twist to a dance album, and the speculation on here between you and I is because I'm in a different crowd. I ain't trying to appeal to fucking street niggas no more. I'm appealing to motherfuckers that got all of this. And that being said, you don't have to have the resume that you used to have to be a rapper. Like Benny's older, he's about our age, so I get what he's saying in the era that he's come through, but you seem a little washed, you seem a little old, get off my lawn is to be going around a nigga city while you on tour dates and being like, hey, you know, bro, what is he really about that life? Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care, bro. That ain't putting no money in my pocket if that nigga about that life or he ain't. Do we got a high 16? Cool. I ain't got to hang out with this nigga. I ain't even got to talk to him again. But if the fans want to hear me and him together, then we can run it. Because it just ain't the same no more when we talking about street cred and real motherfuckers being on the record together. I just don't see that anymore. So this is a little played from Benny.
Yeah, the lines are always been blurred. The name of this CMG album that we're going to talk about is Gangster Art. There's always been a line in between the two that some people feel like you're either on one side or the other. I don't understand why you can't mesh both. It's almost like if you're talking about the street shit, then you really have to have been locked up like Benny was, or you really have to be coming from a particular perspective. And I understand that because let's be real, like when you see a movie that was based on a true story, it hit a little different. You know what I'm saying? But you can also watch a fiction movie that's coming from someone's imagination and it be just as fire. So I think we got to stop like constantly comparing things to the streets and because we're adults, we understand. Like we're not about to go run off and go do something because we heard it on a song like that. You know what I'm saying? That's something illegal. That's played out. We're too old for shit like that. But I can't sit and give Future. Because when he said, I'm number one in the streets, and I'm the streets, and we was like...
Who said that, Benny?
Remember Future said that a couple...
about comparison to Hove and shit, yeah.
And we were like, okay, bro, you're like 50. Like, what are you talking about? It gets played after a while, bro. Like, let's be real. Like, if you live in Calabasas and you keep talking about how the streets, like, stop, bro. To me, that looks wilder. But with that being said, I'd be lying if somebody came to me and told me about one of my favorite artists from back in the day, and they was full of shit. I remember I was at the barbershop, and the niggas from Alabama, and I was like, oh shit, what party? He's like Mobile. I was like, that's Rich Boy, right?
Right.
He was like, yeah. And I fucked with Rich Boy when he came out. I thought he was dope.
Right.
I was like, man, I said, hey, people fuck with Rich Boy, baby. He said, man, niggas from the town don't fuck with dude. He lame as a mother. I was like, fuck.
That's always though. People say that shit all the time.
That's true though. That's a good point too.
You always get
hate is where the home is where the hate is.
Hometown to give you that quick, but so just
it hurt though. I ain't gonna lie.
Just a little more information on what you said, the difference between Future and Benny. See, I look at that from a completely different perspective. I would respect what Future said more because he's speaking from like an impactful music standpoint. Like when you go out in the streets, like I can be in Calabasas and I can lie about smoking weed and doing drugs and all that, but the streets fucking with me. I know it because when motherfuckers is out there, they tell me they ride in the Hellcats doing the donuts, they listen to the Future. I can see that. Versus Benny saying, oh, I'm pulling up in a nigga city, and if it's some OG niggas around, I'm asking, hey, man, you know Freddie Gibbs? What that nigga about? Man, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what Freddie Gibbs did with he. Nigga ain't get no money with me. I ain't like, I don't care. Yeah. So yeah, and I'm just using Freddie Gibbs for an example because they had the little fake beef. But like what Benny was saying, that used to be important when it wasn't like I couldn't just DM a nigga and get directly to him. So you asking around and seeing how they do business maybe and how shit. None of that shit really don't matter no more in my opinion, man. Like it's too easy to collaborate and connect with a motherfucker when you ain't. I don't give a fuck about what you had going on in your city. If niggas like you or not, bro, it ain't got shit to do with me or what y'all had going on.
It's too easy to be fooled nowadays, bro. Like why even sit here and try to think?
Yeah, I ain't trying to do all the goddamn research, bro. I'm here for 2 nights, maybe. Like I don't give a fuck if this nigga real out in the streets. I'm saying
even from a consumer standpoint, bro.
Oh yeah. Like where he from and who he cool with.
Like I don't know.
We don't have the capacity for that no more. Like I used to, like you said, we used to could do that, and like I listen to a motherfucker now and be like, you never thought you would be that person. Be like, hey, who is that?
That's what I'm saying.
So I ain't right there. Like,
that's it.
And the youngsters will hit you with, oh, that's your boy, homeboy, and he with such and such, like we used to do. But now, like, I don't give a fuck, nigga. I don't.
There's a handful of artists though. I would be disappointed if they were full of shit. Like Payroll, that would hurt. If niggas was like, man,
that's the thing though, it ain't possible in Detroit. Like a nigga can't tell me Payroll like ain't. Yeah, you're right. I would be devastated, but I ain't saying that I ain't expecting him to be no shoot 'em up, bang bang.
Right.
I'm expecting like if I asked about him, nigga be like, yeah, they got it in. It's pretty accurate. That's why he talk like he do all the time. I tell you who, and Detroit a place too where you ain't gonna I don't think you gonna let get fly like that and
probably
people
not
cop for it. But Mozzie would be one for me.
Yeah, that would hurt.
I would be like completely fooled and shocked. Like
that. I mean, but hey, to somebody he might be a bitch ass nigga though. Like who knows, bro? Like there's always somebody, fam. Like,
That's a fact. It's always somebody. I mean, I don't fuck with them niggas.
Exactly.
It goes both ways. Before we get into the CMG Gangster Art album review of their debut album, Method Man says that rappers should not be signed to other rappers. Doing his podcast with Matt Hoffa, he got a lot of clips. He getting a lot of run off his Matt Hoffa.
Matt Hoffa eating, yeah.
Jesus Christ. But Animal Brown, Method Man says that rappers should not be signed to other rappers. Is this another one of those old takes like we were insinuating with Benny, or is this something that he has a point with?
This is an old take.
Who made his career off being signed to a rapper.
Yeah, this is an old take though, because you can have a bad deal signed to a rapper or signed directly to the label. Your deal could be shit. Now, his point was signing to an artist that's still actively making music. They won't have time to work or the bandwidth or really they're not going to want you to be bigger than them type situation, 48 Laws of Power type shit. So that's more or less where he was coming from. And there may be situations where that's true, but as we're about to get into, there's labels in here that's not really the case. Like you can look at I'm gonna leave CMG out of it for a second. Go look at Good Music. Bro, them niggas was star. Like John Legend was eating. Big Sean was out here. Pusha T out. Like you don't see Kanye stepping on they shine. Like these niggas, people look at them as solo and they don't even associate them like that with labels anymore, and they're signed to artists. If an artist has a legitimate situation where they have business partners and a real team, and the artist just happens to be either the mascot or the money or whatever the case may be, but there's a real team behind them, then that's a play. But if it's just an artist and nigga, they just went and got their LLC yesterday and just to say they got in a chain, but they really don't know what they're doing, like then you're set up for failure. So it depends on the situation.
Yeah, definitely depends on the situation, and I agree it's an older take. Back in the time when Method Man was coming up in the game, an artist trying to wear 3-4 hats, even with a team in place, probably gets confusing because you guys are working under the same label house, like as a boutique, whatever. But now, like you said, there's so much exposure, so many different lanes. People have their own fan bases. We're not really competing the same. Like, Yo Gotti got to include CMG, he got a label full of gangster artists. But, like, that didn't deter him from signing ESTG and Moneybagg Yo. Like, it's just this what we do over here. With that being said, I think that there's some artists that can do it well because they know how it goes, and then there's some just aren't good at it because they are so focused on their career. Good Music was a good one. Like you said, you have a superstar like Kanye West who created the label. What better promotion is there than having someone like Kanye West at the head of your label? No, I'm not getting the same thing that I would get from a Def Jam or if I'm going in a Columbia or whatever it may be, but I am getting something of value when I got the head of somebody always out there and they're a big name already saying it, making people familiar with it. Then people start to gravitate and want to know what else is on there, and hey, here I am getting my own fan base. So yeah, Method Man is kind of older in his thinking with this, is why it seems kind of off, because it's definitely not the play anyway. Not
yeah, 50 Cent said this in one of his books. He talked about the story. It was called Hustle Harder is the name of 50 book. And he told the story about why he signed to Eminem versus going someplace else. He said, dude, when I stand next to Eminem, the impressions I'm getting just by standing next to him, that's going to be worth far more than if I was trying to do this on my own over at Universal or whatever the case may be. And then I'm standing next to Dre too. Like, I get it. People, you can joke about, man, so many hands in the pot, but your reach is going to be infinitely farther if you're standing next to a superstar like a Kanye or an Eminem or a Dr. Dre than if you were Dolo trying to get out the mud by yourself. It's possible. You can definitely do it, but take a little bit less money up front or take a little bit less money on the deal, but you're going to have more opportunities because of who you're with. So 50 took the long play with that and it worked. And Method Man, I don't know. Like, the people have complained about being signed to artists before. Look at Puff. People were mad when Jay-Z was, I remember LL was mad at Jay-Z when he was the president of Def Jam. He felt like
Method Man was mad
his
too.
Own album.
Method Man was mad too at that when he was over there. Method Man.
Okay, that explained it then.
Yeah. But credit to someone like Puff who's seen this vision before, because again, there is benefit to an artist being associated with the stardom. Like, there's benefit, like, even though Suge gets up here and he makes fun of it, you don't want your CEOs dancing in the videos and doing all of that. Yeah, but that take that hit different, nigga, when it's on the front of that total. Like, it wasn't that before that. It's different, and Puff made shit bigger. There are Birdman with Cash Money. It's different when some people have that gift and are able to do it correctly and still do what they do. So it's different for different situations.
Yeah, if your CEO is a rapper, but that nigga can market, bro.
Yeah, sign up.
Come on, dude.
Let's go. What we doing?
You talking about Puff? Puff can't sell nothing?
If you're signing to nigga Jeezy and you expecting that, like, come on, bro. How?
That's rough.
Like, his shit was organic, like street oriented, like marketing. Grassroots is what I was looking for. I can't sign to Jeezy and expect to get that because I'm not Jeezy.
Right.
But Puff, that shit was generated like,
he did that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a difference.
Man, before we get to this album review, let's talk about this aforementioned DA in Georgia. Of course, we know what went down with YSL and Gunna and Young Thug and 28 others in the big dog Rico case that's going on right now, which is still crazy. She was on the news and mentioned that there will be 2 more high-profile indictments in the next 60 days. We don't know if that's artists. We don't know what that's necessarily related to. Word on the street, it is kind of gang related, so to speak. So a lot of people, but when she says high-profile, we automatically go to artists. Do you see rappers toning down the affiliation talk, the repping of sets anytime soon because of shit like this?
Absolutely. We just seen with Lil Durk, and we'll talk about it a little later in wins or losses section, deactivating his Instagram. Yeah. Let me get on up out of here. Let me get ahead of this, like smart people are doing. You're going to start seeing less of the gang shit, less of the chains with the artists, or excuse me, the label chains or whatnot, like, because people don't have time to be going to do time in the midst of the height of their careers. Yeah. Like Young Thug, like Gunna. And you trying to associate me, whether it's right or wrong, with shit or criminal activity, because I can't be there watching. I can't be in the streets protecting my reputation if the police come around or if other gangsters or criminals come around. So you're going to see people not even saying anything about it at all. The gang affiliation stuff that you see a lot of now is going to die down just because artists are going to be more interested in their safety and not being in jail now versus, oh, I want to look tough. Like we just talked like several other topics, the Gillie topic, the Benny topic, all of these as far as people looking tough. That wave is kind of phasing out in hip hop. Like you get more Juice WRLD, Kid Cudi stuff like what we talked about last week. So even when you get Benny the Butcher, imagine this nigga coming around Atlanta asking, "Hey man, is 4PF really about that?" Now you look crazy.
You like the police now.
Yeah, you look like the police. Like, bro, what you coming around here asking about me for? I don't know you. You rap, I rap. That's it.
Yep.
So with that being said, especially when people are going to be at the heights, is she coming out saying that, oh, this happened and this happened, so your spider senses are going to be tingling? Yeah, people are going to tone it back. It ain't going to be as much of that stuff anymore. What do you think?
I don't think people will tone it down. And it's simply because a lot of the people that are doing this are young. They're youthful. And then and for the same reason that people go to war, bro, they know there'll be casualties, but they never think it'll be them. So people is gonna still rap and make music, and they still gonna rep they set that because that's the only way they know.
Off something. That quote was killing. You just heard that on something because I seen it too.
No, that was off the Dome.
Get the fuck out of here. What was that on? Was that Better Call Saul or was it that whatchamacallit doc at Preem doc?
I think that was the Preem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wrote that shit down and everything.
Tough.
Go ahead.
But that's what I'm saying. No one ever thinks it'll be them, bro. So they can sit here and they're gonna rep their set because it's all branding at the end of the day. So the same set that they rep on the corner and the block and all of that, they're gonna say it in records because it's going to make them sound cool, and it's the same thing that's going to get them on. So they believe that it could be them to get on. They just don't think it'll be them to get sniped behind it. But I will say this: I think this is smoke that she blowing up, bro. Like niggas think it's like this gonna be Lil Baby, this gonna be Dirt, this gonna be 21 Savage. I don't think it's gonna be a big splash like that. I'm gonna be real because I don't understand. I don't think so because I don't know why she would tease it prior to as if like it's a fucking movie coming soon or something. Like she didn't do that with Thug and Gunna, nigga. They just popped up at the door. We didn't know about none of that. So for her to then turn around and be like, "Oh yeah, 60 days, I'm gonna get 2 more people. Stay tuned." Like what?
So what? I mean, the criticism to Fannie, the DA, that's saying this is because she's pandering to a group, right? So liberal Democrats.
All politicians are pandering to a group,
right? So with elections coming up, and if she has big dreams of moving on past being the DA, what this does, and the reason that you promote, and you even with the Trump, not just limited to the gang shit,
for sure.
but right now the violence is out there in the streets of Atlanta. So this is what she's quote unquote doing about violence.
Yeah,
like
for
these
sure.
rappers and stuff. So the people that are going to be voting for her, they looking at this, they paying attention to it. So that's why she would promote it, in my opinion.
That's fair. Yeah.
But
I don't think it's gonna be a big splash, bro.
It may not be. You're right. Like she may just be trying to put sauce on it, and we come up and be like, "Who is that?"
Yep.
Like, oh. But with that being said, on your other point, the reason that I think it does die down is because you're gonna have. Like the RICO plays a different part into it. Like you're not just running out there with your own name. Like if it's niggas that was in Young Thug crew that got locked up and Young Thug was still making records, then yeah, I can see what you're saying. But if it's starting to affect, like if Nick, God forbid, if niggas get locked up around Lil Baby and he go to jail too, that's different. Like now you like niggas like, nah, I don't want y'all saying my name at all. And I think that's what you're gonna start seeing because of Young Thug and Gunna being affected. When used to you would see this in hip hop, and you know motherfuckers would be able to avoid it because they wasn't in the streets being active. But the RICO part of it, well, okay, y'all are an organization and y'all niggas is a big gang, so we getting everybody. That's where you're gonna I see people start to fall back.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation, man. We're gonna keep our eyes on it. I think it's gas, but we shall see.
Safe out here in these streets, man.
Yeah, it's wild.
Right now.
We haven't reviewed the album in a minute. We got this compilation, man. I'm always down for a good label album. I had this on my put on because I was interested to hear how they were going to put this together. CMG, Gangster Art, of course, that is Yo Gotti's label. He's got a roster full of artists. They are the gang's all here on the project. It came out Friday. You know how we get down, man. Standouts, highlights, lowlights, rating. What did you think going into this, and how did you like it off that first listen?
Going into this, and the reason that we wanted to bring this to the table is we were able to be privy with Yo Gotti in the studio. We were privy of conversations in the studio with him early on, where he talked about some of the people that he looked up to. We've told the stories on this podcast before, and I felt like this is the album where that comes into fruition. I got Moneybagg Yo, I got all these popular artists now on my label, and he was looking up to 50 Cent and talk about how impressed he was with G Unit and how impressed he was with Cash Money. He said that in songs before. So to see it play out, to see the CMG album with big names like Bag and big names like, I almost said Black Youngster, I'll skip that one and say Mozzie and Thug, and Doug, excuse me, and ESCG. Like, that's exactly what he was saying that he wanted to do 15 years ago.
For sure.
And that shit, just manifestation of that, I just thought that was dope and would be pretty cool to talk about. So that was my thought process going in. I was really excited to hear how it manifested from that time that we talked to him about it to now.
Absolutely.
And listen to it first minute time through. It's a compilation album, so there's a lot of songs. 30 is a shit ton of songs. So that was the biggest takeaway when I pull it up. I'm like, oh my God, 30 songs. But it does what it's supposed to do as far as that. I wasn't expecting a classic again. It was more so him reaching the point in his career and doing what he said he would do while I was interested in it. But going through, there was some takeaways that I had from good songs too. ESCG is rapping his ass off. 42 Doug's energy. Like, he's got a nice mix of artists on the label, but it also let me find out what he was missing too. Like, he still is missing that one veteran or that one lyrical artist, sort of like the signing that you had when Wale went to MMG or when Snoop went to No Limit. One of those signings that's like, you wonder why it makes sense, and then it starts to do, and you see why it makes sense. Yo Gotti needs one of those to complete what he's trying to do over there, and I think he will make one of these compilation albums really pop off. What'd you think?
I ain't mad at that at all. I was definitely interested. I like when labels, because we know it's strength in numbers, and labels are about movements, and I always think it's cool that you've got a head coach or a player coach like Gotti, GM, and he putting the squad together and he's birthing stars, bro. So I always am impressed by that, the business part of it, and then also just having an eye for talent. Like we talk about all the time, like look at the Gucci Mane tree, bro. Like we've done an episode on that. Like people have eye for talent. That's not easy to do because there's a lot of bullshit ass rappers out here, dude. Like it's some trash out here if y'all did not know. So for someone to be able to have their finger on the pulse like Gotti does, and he's got some talented artists. If you look at his starting five, like look at his starting five and tell me if there's a better one, bro. We'll include him because he's still active. He just had an album out this year. That's Gotti, that's Moneybagg Yo, that's ESTG, that's Mozzie, and that's 42 Doug. That's his starting five. That's strong. That's a very solid starting five. And then the bench is questionable. You got a rookie on there with Glorilla.
I mean, at least people like Black Youngster, though. Like we
Black
Youngster. People like him. Glorilla.
That's a fact.
And
so,
what?
He got the young boy, the young harmonizing dude from Alabama. So, like, I mean, listen, this is what a roster should look like. And we've seen too many artists try it and fail to sit here and think that this is easy. So this is an accomplishment in my eyes. I like his roster better than Dreamville, personally.
Absolutely. I don't even think it's close. And motherfuckers probably listening to us throwing shit at the podcast right now, but I side more to Yo Gotti's style of music over J. Cole if we talking about other people emulating it. J. Cole, wait.
Now.
I'm talking about if other people gonna get in there and do what you do and you building a label around it. Like, it ain't too many people that could do what J. Cole can do. Boz and Maz and all of them niggas is cool.
For sure.
But y'all kind of sound like knockoff J. Cole's.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I get Yo Gotti in here and 6 niggas is talking street shit, one from Oakland, and then I get a chick that's young and she talking the young ratchet street shit, then I got another nigga from Memphis talking street shit,
Detroit.
And Bag. Oh yeah, it's easy to do. We can do it. Not easy per se, but you know what I mean. Way easier than what J. Cole is trying to do with Dreamville. So I agree with you there. Like the versatility of this roster is just like from a street perspective. Like I got everything that you would expect me to have as Yo Gotti. Once he hit them with that unexpected one, like I'm saying, it's all the way to the moon. That's when you're gonna start seeing the Forbes interviews with Gotti, and you be like, damn, I remember a nigga, that's what's up. And that is nigga doing the Jay-Z twist, like with the suits and shit. Like that's coming as soon as he find that next signing, I think.
He need like a Juice World nigga or something though. Like, bro, that shit'll like something like that. Facts. Like he got the young boy that's
kind of already established a little bit too, though.
But that's what I'm see, because you gotta remember, Lil Bibby found Juice World. That's Lil Bibby was not. That's not the music that he was making. You know what I'm saying? But he found the talented kid that could songwrite and had the harmonies and the melodies like crazy. That the kids was fucking with heavy. You find somebody on that kind of wavelength, and that shit'll go crazy. But I do like the roster. I do like that you mentioned that they're from different regions. That's kind of somewhat similar to what G Unit was doing, because at one point in time he had Game, he had Buck, with G Unit South was supposed to come, and then he of course had his Queens people, you know what I'm saying, that was with him. And so to me, that's smart. You spread across the states so that you touch different fan bases.
And you can see the resemblance too of like what we said when we was sitting there and we was listening to him talk about how much he admired G Unit and how much I admired Cash Money. Like you are starting to see that. Yeah. Like I see the resemblance in what you're trying to do with G Unit and see the resemblance of what he's trying to do with Cash Money. So absolutely.
Yeah, on my first listen though, I really liked it. I thought the first half, which is where more of the starting lineup was stronger, just because they're a little bit more talented. I'm not used to some of the other artists that I wasn't familiar with on here. But the roster is deep, man. Even the dude, you remember he had the contest at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
Of the rap on this beat, air quote contest, and the winner, who knows what that was about. But even dude on here, like I was like, damn, I forgot all about him too.
Like, and you know what the dopest thing about this is? Like, this nigga made the rollout of this was really the sign of the Glorilla.
That's a good point.
Like this, like me True. Getting ready and telling y'all about this. Oh, by the way, the hottest song in the streets right now. I just signed her to, just gave her 500,000 and all our homegirls. Yeah. Like to be honest with you, I wouldn't even known this was coming out. Yeah, if I hadn't seen them on the plane talking about that, I'm like, oh shit, and the album coming soon. Oh shit, yeah,
that was a rollout. Let's be clear.
Facts.
Yeah, for sure.
Big facts.
As it should have been.
Yeah, doing his thing.
Yeah, nah, he's shaking it.
Standouts.
Man, I thought the first song I just couldn't get past, and you're probably gonna say the same thing. That Mozzie solo joint with that Mario sample.
Woo-wee.
Listen. This is how you're supposed to play a compilation if you're head coaching. I just signed Mozzie. People who listen to me, people who listen to Moneybagg Yo may or may not be on him. He's a couple of 1,000 miles away, coming out of the Bay, Sacramento. What part is he from?
I
think Sacramento.
Yeah, he's from Sacramento, I think.
Don't shoot me, LA or Cali. But
they will too, especially where he from. Very clear, nigga.
But if I'm a fan of Gotti, I may or may not know who Mozzie is. Once I get to number 5, his solo record, I'm going to want to hear more of him. And that's exactly what the solo record of the newest artist or one of the newest artists you just signed is supposed to do. So I think things like that are a strong play, and it was early in the track listing. It's not 28, it's number 5. It's small stuff like that, in my opinion. Yeah. That's smart, and it shows that some thought was put into that. I also liked there was several joints on here I liked though, but I just give a quick 3. I like Doghouse with 42 Doug and Gotti. I thought that shit was fire, and I like Moral of the Story with Gotti and ESTG. And then one more thing I like that Gotti is on here. He's not shy. He's not on one song, just the single. He's on here. And he's on here with people that we know, and he's on here with people that you may not know. Like I don't know who Big Boogie is. But Gotti on here with the song with him, it's gonna make me listen to him because he's gonna reel me in at least so I can hear what dudes sound like. So it's little small stuff. He's on here with the song with Lil Papa, the young boy. Fact. Again, Gotti is on here with strategic placements of his features. I think it's smart. I think it's well thought out. And those are a couple of the joints I enjoy, but there's several bangers on here though.
Facts. We had a similar feeling going through, other than the length of it, pause. For me, I like the fact that he was on here, and it wasn't, I ain't Kobe in 07 on here taking all the shots. Y'all just put me on the bangers and I'll close out every song. Nah, I'm LeBron on here. Like I'm setting people up. Like you said, I'm with the new niggas. I'm with the old niggas. I'm coming in the middle sometimes. I'm just letting you know that this is my shit and I'm throwing perfect passes because I'm to that point in my career. And he played that perfectly.
Facts.
You could tell that there was thought put into this, that the new artists, old artists, they gave you what you were looking for first, like you said, with Mozzie and Doug and ESTG. Like, I got what I came there for, which kept me engaged.
For sure.
Then when I'm getting to the other niggas, I'm like, okay, it ain't that bad. Plus, Yo Gotti will jump in here now and then. Okay, I can listen to this while I'm doing something else, playing the game in the background or something. So, yeah, you're right. It's the little things that made me excited about this because, again, and I keep referencing the conversations that we had, but it's amazing to see someone manifest that because he was literally talking about this, as I said before in this conversation. And when you notice things like the little things, it lets you know how hyper-focused someone like him is.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's that small shit that at this point in his career, you would think, oh, who gives a fuck? I'm Yo Gotti. I can do what I want to. Let me just
be lazy with it.
I can do it the easy way.
Yep.
But we heard him say 15 years ago I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in building this way, and these are the examples that I use. And he stuck to that, and that shit is fucking dope to see. Yep. But the standouts to me for that song, Moral of the Story, of course.
Banging.
Love that. That was banging. I like that Rocky Road and 1st of January and Wait in Line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so those are my top ones.
Black Youngster some slaughter, I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I had to add that because I was surprised that I even tolerated that. That's one of the artists you can add to the list for me for this new generation. I just do not get. I don't get the craze about Black Youngster. He ain't never on beat for me. He ain't never talking about nothing. Like it ain't. No disrespect to him, but bro, you some slaw.
Yeah,
you some slaw, bro.
I
had to tell him that in there, like, bro.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. I get it. He got the personality and all of that.
Yeah, like you funny.
I get it.
Slaw.
He's slaw. What joints didn't work though? There's a couple you were like, nah, he skips.
You know what didn't work? Not to be specific, because there were several of them on here, but the girl party type joints, I know you need them. And I ain't talking about the ones with Glorilla where she popping her shit because I think that was needed. But I'm talking about what the men trying to do, like the dance, 5-star chick club type songs.
Okay.
I'm good, bro. Like, you can double down on this street shit, my nigga. Like, the females more ratchet than the niggas nowadays, damn near. So you can just double on down on the ratchet street shit. Like, you ain't got to give me the party 5-star chick shit. Like, the girls don't even want to hear it no more. So we damn sure don't. So let Glorilla take care of that. But I don't need the niggas doing the club bops no more. Like, I'm over that. That was my biggest. And there was like 8 of them.
Yeah, there was a couple on here for sure. A couple things I didn't like. The Big Boogie dude, his solo song at Kiki, that wasn't really nothing. And there was a gal on here. I think it was the Hood Rich song where she was singing, and I was like, "Yo, what?" Like it. I gotta hear something else.
Early on, they try to swag the little Destiny Child, little Swagger Jack.
Yeah, it was like it didn't sound good at all though. I was like, "Is something off?" Like that sounded. She did kind of give like a Destiny's Child.
Yeah, that was they was trying to. Someone nothing.
That
wasn't for us. So like,
but I'm just saying, like, just her vocals though. I was like, I got to hear something else with her on it because like she sounded off key. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Listen to something else with her on it? Nah, she was only on one song.
Okay.
I was like, yo, what the fuck? But I will say this though, I do get. Speaking of Glorilla, that was the last signing, the big splash. It's her. One of her homegirls signed to QC, and I'm assuming her other homegirls are looking for deals. Her
homegirls ripping that little freestyle.
Yeah,
they sold us out with QC.
Nah, they slick. Glorilla really. If we talking about the talent, she's really like 3rd or 4th place on her clique. She just got that voice and that energy.
All of them remind me, Project Pat, like Project Pat, Gangsta Boo. Like that's what I'm hearing. Let's like. Of course, Gangsta Boo's a female, but I'm hearing like a female version Memphis style, like Project Pat, like especially the chick that sound with QC. I was like, damn, if Project Pat was a girl that was born in 2022, that would be her, dude.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now there's some talent there, man. I seen Gotti had the birthday bash a couple of days ago, and when he brought her out. Dude, if y'all can find that footage, it's on YouTube, dude. They were shaking it. They were word for word. I was like, oh yeah, that was because I was wondering, like, damn, should he have signed her? Like, did that make sense? I heard that. I said, oh no, this is right.
It does. Absolutely. And it shows again, credit in Yo Gotti. It's your Yo Gotti credit session, but just like being tapped in the streets enough to sign her. Same thing with Doug. Same thing with ESTG.
Remember,
Same
he tried with Dolph too. Remember?
Even with Dolph. Yeah, Dolph was popping. He tried that too, but he didn't come with enough money. But just noticing and being able to navigate, because I'm sure other people in these rooms trying to get these people, like Lil Baby wanted Doug and
I mean, they're splitting Doug. It's a joint venture.
Pause.
Good point.
But I'm sure, like, even with Glorilla and these other people,
Doug is nasty.
Yeah, that's nuts. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I just respect, man, his foresight to be able to sign these people, be out here in these streets, the team that he has to get these people on the label. It's shit fire.
This is several years in the make, because he tried it with
he did try this before.
With Star, with damn,
Snooty Wild, rest in peace.
Bag
been around for a minute.
Yeah,
he was back then with them too.
So he's been trying this for a while. So it's cool to see.
Don Tripp was around a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a couple. It's been a Zedzilla. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been trying. So it's cool to see, man. It's like a full circle moment. What type of rating you give it though?
I give it 3.
Yeah, it's banging. Yeah, that's fair.
I give it banging. Absolutely.
I like it though. It's some shit on here. I repeat it though. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this is some good Stone Mountain music on here.
Absolutely. I ran a couple of them back, saved some to a playlist. I want to see today when he give us one 13 song. I know this ain't what you do on compilations, but I'd love to see a good one, like formulated together, 13 in and out songs, just banging though, because I think he got the squad to do it.
It's a lot of people to get looks on a 13-track album.
Y'all, this ain't for the screw ups though. This is all the young niggas. I mean, all y'all niggas can get out of here. This really
it's for the starters.
Some black hippie type shit.
Yeah.
Big dogs. Yeah. What'd you give it?
I give it 3. It's banging for sure. Yeah. I definitely liked it. There's several joints. 27 tracks is entirely too much, but he had to find a way to get everybody a look. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to whoever Trip Star is. I'm not familiar with him, but you got to get him a look on here on your label. Yeah. And he's not gonna make it in them first 10. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I will say this though. Did you see the shooting, the threat?
Yeah.
That was crazy though, bro. Like, there was a threat. Some dude, they ended up catching the dude too. He was threatening he had lost his girlfriend or whatever, had broke up or whatever. He was threatening to shoot up the party. I mean, shoot up the birthday bash, and the police intercepted. I forgot how they pulled up on him, man. He had guns and shit. Was wild. I was like, wow.
I ain't read the full story, but I saw that potential mass shooting had happened. That's fucking insane.
That's wild, bro. That make a nigga not even want to go outside. But I wouldn't be at birthday bash anyway. But still, though,
you got to plot your exit out when you go outside. Like, I was at the Pusha T concert. I'm like, man, let me make sure that I can get up out this motherfucker. If my whole time, I played the side by the door. So if anything pop off, I'm out of here, nigga. Like, it's sad that you got to look at that now. But that was the first thing I did. All right, I'm gonna sit right here.
Yep.
I'm out of here in 2 minutes or something go down.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
What we got, man? Win or loss?
Absolutely. Before we get out of here, man, we appreciate you guys tapping in for the review of the Yo Gotti CMG Gangster Art album. Before we get out of here again, to say that again, our wins and losses. First win of the loss, AB. Tell me how you feel about Jay-Z saying he does not charge for features.
Yeah, that was crazy. He was on Kevin Hart's Peacock show. Said he don't charge. I respect it though, because now if you set a price for your features, now people who can afford it that you don't want to do music with are going to hit you up. If you just tell people that you just tell people you do shit when you feel like it, it's more in your terms, and it's an easier. He probably doesn't even get asked, which is even better, which I'm sure he probably prefers. So I respect it. I ain't mad at that. That's dope.
That's a big W. Like, I'm not putting. Great point. If I'm Jay-Z, there's no way I'm putting a price on a verse of mine.
Yeah,
this shit is priceless. This shit is priceless, my nigga.
Right, so exactly.
it 100% ain't no $1 million. I'm not doing any of that. Like, and then, like you said, it opens the door for niggas that got it to hit me up and feel like they deserve it because they can pay for it. Yep. It's one of those things where, like, motherfuckers wait on the whole verse. It's almost like a blessing, the stimulus package per se. So it's a big W. Next win or a loss, your man Kodak Black got locked up this weekend. Not conspiracy, with trafficking charges because he had over 30 oxycodone pills. Leaving jail in Florida, he was mistaken for, yep, you guessed it, Flavor Flav. Win or a loss, being mistaken for Flavor Flav.
That's a win, because that shit funny than a motherfucker. Hey, man.
That's hilarious.
That's insult to injury, nigga. You just got locked up and somebody said you look like Flavor Flav?
I was going to say, I just got out of jail. Motherfucker play me like I look like Flavor Flav. I might go right back in there. Might get shot. We might get beat up real bad. And we didn't have to go back to jail, man, for playing with me on clearly what seems to be a bad day, man. Kodak need to get his shit straight, man.
Yeah, man. I want him to win, though. I promise I do.
Man. My barber, nigga, to cut my hair today. He said that Kodak Black was better than Ludacris.
That's not true. In no shape, form, or fashion.
And you know me, if you listen to this show, one thing I will never do is defend Ludacris. But unfortunately, these new generation of motherfuckers, man, got you doing weird shit. I was in the barbershop having to defend Ludacris. I was like,
as you should
what
have.
are you talking about?
Respectfully.
Like,
Kodak Black is talented, though.
Yeah, Kodak Black is a better artist, but bar for bar, he was talking about bars. I was like,
oh, fuck no.
Bro. What do you mean?
Man, come on, man.
There Spike Lee was trying to defend fucking Ludacris. Yuck. Yeah. Threw up in my mouth a little bit. But before we get out of here, the last winner or loss, we spoke about it earlier. The heat's coming down. Lil Durk deactivated his IG, said he's about to, quote, disappear for a minute. You worried about this, AB?
Not at all. That's a W, because I would have done the same thing if I were him and I heard these goddamn it, the DA talking the talk that she talking. Now I've been on the first thing smoking to wherever Russell Simmons went that time when he left.
Facts. Big.
Hey, Russell, where you go? Are you with the Bali? Okay, cool. Hey, book my one-way ticket until this shit cool off.
Facts. Only difference would have been I would have just disappeared. Nigga ain't got no IG no more. Damn, I can't. Doop, doop, doop.
The number you have dialed.
Man, what? It's no longer in service.
Yeah, I'm out.
Facts.
I feel him, though.
Yeah, and he been down here hanging around in the A2. Again, hopefully those guys are able to stay out of trouble and navigate the way that they need to. But yeah, I would be out. Big W for him. Who we got for the deck of the week, sir?
Man, we're going to YouTube, man. Shout out to these two comments. Shout out to Bakari, longtime listener, supporter. We appreciate you.
My
guy. He commented on the most influential Midwest albums. He said, so nobody's going to mention Chief Keef's Finally Rich and what it did for hip hop. That's fair. Even though I do not like that album, but I cannot deny the impact that Chief Keef had when he came out.
Hell of a catch.
That's a fact. Definitely missed that one.
Absolutely. So that's why you're here, Bakari. We appreciate you. You mentioned it.
100%. And shout out to Post Like Hakeem. He commented on the most influential Southern albums. He just threw a couple out there that he fucked with. Ghetto D, 400 Degrees, Chopper City in the Ghetto, TM 101, Mr. Don't Play,
Mr.
When the Smoke
Don't
Clears,
Play.
and Trap Music.
Let's go.
That's a list. That's a nice list
That's
right there.
Strong list right there. He's definitely fluent in Southern hip hop. So
absolutely, man. What you got to put me on?
Man, my put on for the week, brand new show. Well, not brand new, man. If you're not tapped in, I'm going to say this every time it starts back. Better Call Saul started Monday, man. They are doing a fucking masterpiece. Episode went off last night, man. Continue to just add fuel to the flames. I can't wait to see how this ends.
Hold on. So you saw the second one?
Yeah.
And it was good too?
Still cooking.
Because I thought after that first one, they was going to slow us down a little, because that first one was
it wasn't as fire as that first one, though. Don't get me wrong. That first one was absolute flames. They had to take it down a little bit, but this one was still right there where you was like, oh, shit. Right. It gave you some, like, and Walt and Jesse about to pop up, too, in
that's right.
in the next 2 weeks. So, man, if you ain't watching Better Call Saul, get on it. That shit is fucking fire. I can't wait to see what Walt and Jesse play. And I kind of got an idea. We can talk about it offline. Yeah. Oh, well, no, you ain't seen it, but once you see it, we'll talk about it.
That's a fact. Man, my put on, this is a different one. I was out in the park.
Which park?
Out at Piedmont Park.
That's the spot.
Shout out to my folks. There was a young lady out there selling Freeze adult Capri Suns.
Yeah, with the little pouches and the alcohol.
With the little pouches and the alcohol. And I was like, yo, how long you been doing this? And she was like, a couple months. It's my full-time job. I said, it's your full-time job? She was like, yeah. I was like, if you don't mind me asking, how much you make? And she was like, well, I sell these for $15 a piece. and I come out here with 50. And so I do this 3 days a week. I sell out. It takes me about 3 hours to sell out. I did the math. Don't even worry about it. That's $9,000 a month selling adult Capri Suns in the park. She is 21 years old because she gave me her Instagram, her business Instagram. And I was like, that's impressive. Mm-hmm. I say that to say, in addition to, I don't know if you saw T Grizzly, he's making $200,000 playing video games online.
T Grizzly know how to play video games?
Yes.
I would have never suspected that.
His subscription shit is popping, 200 bands, and he got his homeboys playing. They're making 20 bands a month.
What they play?
Call of Duty and something else. I forgot what the other one was. I think GTA. My point is, there's a million ways to get money out here. Y'all gonna hear a lot of scary shit on the news, recession this, recession that. Man, get creative out here, nigga, because there's ways to eat, dog. So I want everybody out here to get creative and eat, because that shit blew my mind. She was 21 and got it, so I couldn't do nothing but respect it. But I don't care if you're 21 or 51 listening, man. There's a whole lot of ways to get it, and you might need to in these next couple of months.
Definitely a difference in the recession that you're talking about now and the one that we experienced in 2008. So like you said, there's a lot of gig economy stuff. Jobs still going to be out there because a lot of people got other ways to get money too. Back. So it's going to be kind of different. But still prepare. Make sure you're ready for what's coming.
It said loaf of bread, $10. So
where?
Man, I see it on Instagram.
Well, that was in Shanghai, nigga. That wasn't damn show. Wasn't over here. Still hey, man, like, shit is high though. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, I know you don't go to the I'm sure you do with.
Yeah.
Grocery store, shit high. Shit is higher. Like, this shit.
That's what I'm saying. Hey man, get creative out here, man. Fuck it. YOLO.
Facts. I need about 8 more in-stream combs.
Hey man, she said she worked 3 days a week, dude. 3 hours. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 hours a day. That's it.
What were the final numbers that you came up with about how much you said?
$9,000 a month. If you do, if she in there with 50 and they $15 a piece, and she sell all of them times 3, that's $725 a day. So you do that times 3 and then do that times 4. That's crazy.
Yeah, then expenses and stuff. So yeah.
I mean, obviously that's not a year-round thing, but I'm just saying that's a mean spring, summertime hustle.
Facts.
Man, other than that though, man, same old guys. Hit us up, youtube.com/OnDeckTV show. Also hit the link in the description, man. Cop a shirt or 2. And what else we got, man? Anything else?
That's it, man. Check us out every week, Wednesdays, On Deck TV show.
It is, man. We out.